Most men grow up hearing the advice, never run after women, make them run after you. But when you look at reality, you quickly see a problem. Hardly any woman actually runs after a man. That's where the confusion begins. If you don't make a move, nothing happens. But if you do, she often pulls away. So what's really going on? The truth is, there are two kinds of pursuit. One based on logic, the other on emotion. If you fail to see the difference, you'll end up invisible, or worse, taken advantage of. In this video, I'll uncover the psychology most men miss and show you how to turn the tables so she feels drawn to pursue you. The truth about logical chasing. Many men are taught a dangerous half-truth. If you have money, success, or looks, women will naturally run after you. Movies, music, and social media repeat this message over and over. Become wealthy, get power, look sharp, and women will line up. But this is what I call logical chasing. Logical chasing happens when a woman doesn't really see you. She sees what comes with you. She runs after the lifestyle, the security, the comfort, the doors your status can open. Her interest isn't born from genuine attraction, it's born from calculation. Her mind is thinking, if I choose this man, my life becomes easier or more exciting. At first glance, it sounds like a win. If you have a strong position, a nice car, or big achievements, yes, you will attract attention. People will message you, women will want to be around you, and you may feel admired. But here's the cold reality. This attention is conditional. It's not real desire. It's borrowed interest. And conditional attraction is weak. From the outside, it may look powerful, but inside, it's shaky. The moment your situation changes, so does her loyalty. If your money slows down, if your career dips, or if another man appears who offers something better, her focus can shift overnight. Now, let's be honest. Most men don't even have access to this kind of game. Not everyone is a millionaire, not everyone has fame, and not everyone has high social standing. If you believe that only status or wealth can win women, you will constantly feel like you're not enough. But even for the man who does have all that, the luxury, the influence, the network, there's still a deeper problem. Logical chasing can bring women into your life, but it cannot give you peace. Because deep down, you'll always wonder, does she want me, or does she want what I give her? And that question slowly eats away at your confidence. This is why logical chasing leaves men feeling empty. At best, it buys you company, but never true intimacy. At worst, it makes you feel like a credit card with legs, useful only while the benefits last. Every man, no matter who he is, wants the same core thing: to be wanted for himself. Not for his wallet, not for his name, not for his power, for who he is. And that's why logical chasing will never be enough. It may create short-term attraction, but it cannot create fire. It may give you attention, but it will never give you the deep emotional bond that makes a woman stay when everything else fades. The truth is simple. If you want lasting desire, you must step beyond logical chasing. You need to tap into something far stronger, the pull of emotion. Because once a woman is emotionally hooked, it's no longer about what you provide. It's about what she feels. And that feeling is what makes her chase you in a way no money, fame, or status ever could. The power of emotional chasing. This is where everything changes. Most men only understand surface-level attraction, the kind built on logic. But the real secret, the one that flips the whole dynamic, is something far deeper: emotional chasing. The beauty of emotional chasing is that it doesn't depend on your bank account, your looks, or your status. Any man can create it if he understands how. Because emotional attraction isn't a choice she makes. It's a feeling that takes control of her, often without her realizing it. When a woman is emotionally invested in you, she doesn't sit down and weigh the pros and cons like she would in logical chasing. Instead, she feels something inside that she can't easily explain. She feels restless when you're not around. She glances at her phone, hoping to see your name pop up. She remembers small details about what you said, the way you looked at her, the tone of your voice. Her imagination keeps replaying moments with you, almost like a movie running in her head. That pull isn't rational, it's emotional. And emotions are far stronger than logic. Logic can be replaced the moment someone better shows up. But when her heart is caught, it doesn't matter who else enters the picture, her focus keeps returning to you. The best part? Emotional chasing isn't some gift you're either born with or not. It's not reserved for the rich, the famous, or the lucky. It's a skill, something you can learn and refine. So what's the key? Women, at their core, want more than comfort or security. Those things matter, but they don't create fire. What truly excites them is the feeling of being alive. They crave a spark, excitement, passion, mystery, and a man who can lead them into experiences that touch both their heart and imagination. Most men get this wrong. They either drown her with constant attention until the magic dies, or they starve her of connection until she loses interest. The man who understands emotional chasing does something different. He gives enough presence to make her feel, and then steps back to let that feeling grow stronger in his absence. This balance between presence and distance, comfort and challenge, is what turns ordinary interactions into obsession. She doesn't just enjoy being with you, she craves it. Not because it makes sense, but because it doesn't. That's the power of emotional chasing. It bypasses logic and hooks her on a deeper level. And once you learn to spark those feelings, you won't have to run after women ever again, because they'll feel compelled to run after you. The role of the hunter. One of the biggest traps men fall into is confusing hunting with chasing in desperation. On the outside, both may look the same. A man going after what he wants. But the truth is, they couldn't be more different. The desperate chaser is easy to spot. He clings, he over-explains, he constantly checks in with messages, and he floods a woman with attention. His energy says, "Please like me, please pick me." Instead of showing strength, he leaks insecurity. Instead of drawing her in, he pushes her away by proving that he has no self-control. The hunter, however, plays an entirely different game. A hunter doesn't run with panic. He moves with calm precision. He knows what he's after, but he also understands the power of patience and timing. He isn't begging to be noticed because his confidence speaks louder than words. His presence feels grounded, deliberate, and magnetic. When a man embodies the hunter mindset, women sense it instantly. They don't see someone desperate for approval. They see someone who already knows his value. He doesn't need to prove himself with endless words or actions. Instead, his restraint creates curiosity. His calmness creates respect. His scarcity creates hunger. And that's the secret most men ignore. Scarcity increases value. Anything you can get all the time loses its charm. If something is rare, you can't help but think about it. The same applies to attraction. When you're always available, always saying yes, always present at her command, you stop being special. Your presence feels ordinary. But when you appear in doses, sometimes present, sometimes absent, you set up an emotional rhythm. That rhythm sparks curiosity. She wonders, where is he? What's he doing? Why isn't he always around me? Those unanswered questions transform into desire. The hunter knows how to control this rhythm. He knows when to step forward and give attention, and he knows when to step back and let space work in his favor. He doesn't try to force emotions. He lets them grow naturally, the way a flame grows stronger when given air. Being a hunter is not about aggression or domination. It's about control, balance, and timing. A hunter studies the moment, makes deliberate moves, and strikes when it matters most. He is not reckless, he is intentional. That's why he feels magnetic, while the desperate pursuer feels draining. At the end of the day, you must choose your role. Be the man who runs endlessly, begging for scraps of attention, or be the hunter, calm, mysterious, and powerful. One loses value every step of the way. The other becomes unforgettable. How to spark emotional addiction. Most men get this part completely wrong. They think that the best way to keep a woman hooked is by being constantly present. Endless texting, calling every hour, flooding her with compliments, and making themselves available 24/7. But here's the truth. Too much attention doesn't create passion. It kills it. What it actually builds is comfort, And comfort might feel nice for a while, but very quickly, comfort turns into boredom. The real art lies in when and how you give your attention. It's not about being there all the time. It's about showing up with such impact that your presence lingers in her mind long after you've gone. Then, instead of staying glued to her side, you step back. You let her feel the emptiness your absence creates. Here's why this works so well. When you give her a moment that feels special, it imprints itself in her memory. Maybe it's your calm confidence, the way you look into her eyes, or the way you make her laugh effortlessly. That single experience sticks. And when you disappear for a while, all she has left is that memory. Her brain replays it over and over. She wonders, why hasn't he reached out? What is he doing right now? Who is he with? That wondering is where the magic begins. Curiosity turns into fascination, and fascination grows into craving. You start to occupy space in her thoughts the way a catchy tune gets stuck in someone's head. She doesn't just notice you, she misses you. She doesn't just want to hear from you, she needs it. Think about it. Anything you can get at any time eventually loses its shine. But when something feels rare, unpredictable, and a little mysterious, it becomes addictive. If she can guess your every move, there's no excitement. But if she never knows exactly when you'll appear, you stay interesting. You become the mystery she wants to figure out, and that mystery fuels her attraction. This is how emotional addiction forms. You stop being just another guy. You become the one who makes her heart beat faster, the one she brings up in conversations with her friends, the one she checks her phone for at night. You shift from being an option to being an obsession. And the beauty of this? It doesn't require chasing, begging, or proving yourself. It comes from rhythm, knowing when to lean in with intensity and when to pull back with silence. This push and pull balance keeps emotions alive. Once you master this, you'll never need to overcompensate with constant attention again. Instead, your presence will feel like a spark, short, powerful, unforgettable. And when you use that spark wisely, she won't just admire you or like you, she'll crave you in a way she can't explain. The power of conversation. Many men don't lose a woman's interest because of their looks or because they lack money. It happens because their conversations put her to sleep. Too often, a date ends up sounding like an interview. The man falls back on the usual script. So, what do you do? Where are you from? Do you have siblings? Safe questions? Yes, but also dull, predictable, and forgettable. Almost every man asks them, which means when you use the same approach, you blend into the background. You don't stand out, you become just another face she'll forget by tomorrow. Here's the deeper truth. Women don't build attraction from facts alone. They connect through emotions. What makes her feel excited, playful, or alive is what lingers in her memory. A dry exchange of information does nothing. But if she feels sparks of joy, curiosity, or passion while she's with you, that's what will keep echoing in her mind long after the night ends. So, the key is to stop treating conversation as data collection and start treating it as an emotional journey. Guide her into stories, dreams, and experiences that bring out her energy. Instead of robotic small talk, ask her things like, "What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?" Or, "If you could pack a bag and fly anywhere tonight, where would you go?" Questions like these pull her out of routine thinking and make her revisit moments of excitement. She doesn't just tell you, she feels it again. And here's the magic. When she's laughing, smiling, or sharing something meaningful, her brain automatically connects that emotional state with you. It's not simply she had fun, it's she had fun with you. You become tied to the positive emotions she experiences in that moment. That's why powerful conversation isn't about showing off how intelligent, wealthy, or successful you are. It's about creating a shared emotional bubble where she feels more alive than she normally does. That's what makes you unforgettable. The secret is to go beyond her words and tune into her feelings. If she shares a story, don't stop at the surface. Ask, "What did that feel like?" Or, "What was going through your mind then?" This shows her that you're not just collecting details, you're truly interested in her inner world. When you do this, you become different from the rest. She won't walk away saying, "That was a nice dinner." She'll walk away thinking, I don't know why, but I feel amazing when I'm with him. And that feeling, more than anything you say, will make her want to see you again. Remember, facts fade, but emotions last. If you can guide her into powerful emotions through your conversations, you won't just be another date. You'll be the man who awakens something real inside her, knowing when to walk away. One of the boldest and most overlooked skills a man can develop is the ability to leave at the right moment. Most men struggle with this because they believe that the longer they stay, the deeper the attraction will grow. So they stretch the evening, keep talking even after the spark fades, and hope that more time automatically equals more connection. But that belief is false. Attraction doesn't grow in moments of dullness, it grows in moments of intensity. And if you overstay when the energy has dropped, you don't add to the attraction, you quietly kill it. That's why a man who truly understands timing knows this secret. End the interaction while the energy is at its highest point. End it when she's laughing, when the vibe is alive, and when she least expects it. Why is this so powerful? Because leaving on a high note locks the memory in her mind. Instead of experiencing the slow decline into boredom, she holds on to the best part of the night. The memory feels exciting, electric, and unfinished. And that sense of unfinished is what creates curiosity and desire. Think about watching a TV series. If an episode drags on too long, you lose interest, even if parts of it were good. But if it ends suddenly on a cliffhanger, you can't stop thinking about it. You replay scenes in your head. You crave the next episode. Human attraction works the same way. Most men fear walking away early. They think cutting things short will make her lose interest. But the opposite is true. When you leave her smiling and energized, she doesn't go home feeling satisfied. She goes home feeling curious. Instead of, "That was pleasant," her thought is, "I need to see him again." That hunger is what turns a simple spark into genuine pursuit. This is the psychology of leaving her wanting more. By ending the night when emotions are still climbing, you plant yourself in her imagination. You become the highlight she keeps replaying, not the dull memory she forgets. So the next time you're with her, pay attention to the emotional rhythm. Notice when the energy peaks. And instead of dragging it out until things settle down, leave right there, on the high. Do it with confidence, with a smile, with the certainty that you've left the perfect mark. Balance is everything. There's a turning point in attraction that every man looks forward to, the moment she begins to pursue you. Suddenly, she's the one sending more messages, initiating calls, and finding reasons to spend time with you. For most men, this feels like victory. But here's the hidden danger. This is also the exact moment when many men sabotage everything they worked for. The mistake happens quietly. Once they see her showing interest, they drop all boundaries. They start replying instantly to every text, rearranging their schedule just to see her, and making themselves constantly available. What they don't realize is this. By giving unlimited access, they kill the very tension that made her chase in the first place. The mystery dissolves, the challenge disappears, and soon her excitement begins to fade. This is the trap. And it's deadly because it feels natural. You think you're showing care, but in reality, you're draining the spark. The real secret is balance. When she begins to chase, that's not the time to smother her with attention. It's the time to maintain your frame. Show her she matters, but also show her she's stepping into the world of a man who already has direction, goals, and standards. You're not abandoning your life for her. You're inviting her to be part of it. Balance doesn't mean ignoring her or playing cold. It's about rhythm. Sometimes you respond quickly, sometimes you let her wait, sometimes you accept her invitation. Other times you politely decline because you have plans. That subtle push and pull reminds her she doesn't own your time completely. And that's what keeps her invested. Think of it like breathing. Inhale, exhale. Too much of either, and the body collapses. Attraction is the same way. Give too much access too soon, and the fire suffocates. But give space along with closeness, and the flame keeps burning strong. When she feels like she almost has you, but not entirely, she stays intrigued. She keeps wondering what you're doing, who you're with, and how to win a little more of your attention. That curiosity fuels her desire and keeps the chase alive. If you made it all the way to the end, type, "I finished the lesson" in the comments, so I know you're one of the few who stayed fully locked in. Now I want to hear from you. Out of everything we went through today, what hit you the hardest? Which idea or insight made you stop and think the most? Share your answer below because your perspective might inspire someone else who's also watching. Don't just scroll past. Your thoughts matter, and I really want to know what stayed with you after this lesson.